Greetings, elementary families. This is a reminder that we have made the transition to standards-based progress reports this year, which means you will not see letter grades as you have seen previously in some grade levels in the past. Our new progress reports will provide for a consistent framework across each grade level, which allow you to better interpret your child's learning from year to year. As I mentioned, rather than letter grades, you will see one of three consistent progress indicators, or numbers rather, communicating your child's progress, which are A1, the student is consistently and independently meeting grade level standard. And number 2, which would mean that the student is approaching grade level standard but is not yet consistent and independent. Number 3, which means that the student is not yet meeting the grade level standards. And you may see blank areas on the progress report when you receive that, and that would indicate that the skill has not been assessed at this time. However, it's our intention that the standards, each of the standards, will be addressed by the conclusion of the school year. It is important to note that we expect proficiency by the end of the year. Therefore, if a child is approaching or not yet meeting the standard at trimester 1 or trimester 2, that's perfectly fine, as they will have multiple opportunities to show proficiency over time.
Our goal is that by being more specific with the skills that your child is working on, we will be better able to ensure high levels of learning for all students. Our reporting purpose, as decided upon by our entire team of educators, is to communicate with parents and students about the current achievements of specific learning goals. It identifies students' progress toward the goals, areas of strength, and areas where additional time and effort are needed.
So you're wondering, what is a standards-based progress report? We have identified the essential standards from our state's Common Core for each grade level. Instead of averaging a score for each of the content areas, as we have in the past, to include test scores, homework, behavior, etc., we want to give you more relevant and accurate information about your child's growth. We call this supporting student learning by the student, by the standard.
As we talk about standard-based reporting and by the student, by the standard, an example that we have is you can see these three students, this chart, it's which student would you choose to pack your parachute. And if you look closely, student A scored up and down on the assessment throughout the class. Student B started low but continued to improve throughout the class. And then student C started high but continued to decrease throughout the class. In the end, all the students scored a C, but in standard-based reporting we wouldn't average the scores. We would look at the newest assessment after the student was able to practice, and it really shows who you would want to pack your parachute.
So is a 1 an A? A 1 does not correlate to an A. As a matter of fact, we would discourage you from trying to correlate this new process to the grading practices of the past. While our goal is that each student will receive all 1s on the progress report at the end of the year and prove that he or she is consistently and independently meeting the grade level standard, the fact of the matter is that not every student will make it there, although we will do everything in our power to make them get there. The key word when explaining a 1 is that the child is consistently showing proficiency. We have all had the experience of memorizing something for a test, only to have that learning disappear a few short weeks later. With our standards-based progress report, we will measure students' learning over time on the same standards in order to measure retention.
Once again, while it is our expectation that students are proficient on each identified essential skill by the end of the school year, our communication to you is more reliable than ever. For example, rather than just acknowledging how your child is doing in a general subject such as math, you will now have the specific knowledge about how your child is doing on the specific skills within the content area, such as two-digit addition.
To answer the question, what if my child has a 1 the first trimester and a 2 the second trimester? Despite the fact that the child's progress indicator dropped from one reporting period to the next, we really feel that this information again would tell us some vital information. It informs us that your child is not retaining some essential learning, which he or she needs for the next level of instruction. This information is valuable for both you as the parent and us as the teacher, because we now have proof that your child needs more practice or remediation on one or more of our essential skills.
As a national model PLC at work, each day when working with our students, we ask these 4 questions. What do we expect our students to know? How do we know if they're learning? How will we respond when they don't learn? And how will we respond when they already know it? Our new reporting practice will now align with these questions better than ever before.
Some of you may ask, without letter grades, how will my child be prepared for the middle school? As middle school principal, I endorse this work by the elementary and know that our students will enter our secondary system very well prepared, because both parents and teachers alike have specific information regarding the essential skills that are integral for the success in our middle school.
If you would like to learn more about our standards-based reporting practices, please feel free to visit our elementary website, where you will find several articles and sources of research supporting our standards-based progress reports. And as always, if you have any questions, please be sure to contact your child's teacher or Principal Kim Tierney. Thank you so much for your time and allowing us to partner in your child's education.